ペイント・イット・レッドをやっていきたいと思います。じゃあ2週間ぶりぐらいの配信かな。あまりこれを見る人はいないんだけれど、まだ続きがあるのでやっていきたいと思います。ちょっと待ってくださいね。OK です。続き、これはね、移動しなきゃいけないんだっけな。
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because he learned Natasha worked in a brothel.
No, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
Which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting, but maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who treated him.
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that? You know, I thought about...
We've met her on a number of occasions, Marty.
Maybe Susie's just an actress you hired.
You've read too much of that cheap garbage, Marty. There's no conspiracy theory. Susie's just a money-hungry little dame who made a fortune off of us. That's all.
Yeah, you're disappointing.
I know.
So where exactly is this place?
A few hours' drive from here, in the middle of nowhere. It's a creepy old mansion, of course.
You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a trap?
I told you, you can still go back.
Oh, wouldn't you love that? No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's gonna be on you.
Thanks, pal. I deserve that.
You still trust her?
I never trusted her, Marty.
I mean, you believe her?
I'm sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her, former profession.
Or how she knows Molly.
Yeah, that too. And the death of Deborah complicated things even more.
Hey, Sonny, she didn't seduce you, right? I mean, Natasha.
Ah, don't be stupid, Marty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Not that way, anyway.
Yeah, all right, boss. So what do you think happened to the corpse?
Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the hive is true, Starvation, riots, arson, predation.
You're telling me. Makes my feathers stand on end when I think about what goes on in there. And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once again. And because of its own foolishness.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. 'Cause then, the whole wilderness will burn.
Lovely prospects, eh?
新しい世界感じ。
Either way, it was a damn clever move for Wessler to hide the body in Roachtown.
It's the only place no one will ever find it.
Like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
偽情報。
Sounds about right.
はチェページマン。
Who'd have thought? I believed that little rat. I thought he'd changed. Idiot.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he did since then doesn't matter.
Not much.
Exactly. And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming right now, leave it all to hell and have another drink.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should. No, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
Which we'd only learn if we talk to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting.
That too, yeah.
電話。
A stack of papers. Just looking at them makes me think of Mom. I've had enough stimulation for today. Huh. Maybe I am really Meredith H. Marble. A closet that's closed forever, like an old movie theater.
Huh. The old days. You know
What? The hype? Us as celebrity cops?
Nah, the work, the buzz, the phone ringing at 4 a.m. and knowing if you pick it up, you'll be dragged into something terrible, because that's your job. And of course, you pick it up every clucking time.
I'm not sure it's healthy to enjoy that.
Hey, no healthy animal becomes a cop in Clawville.
Yeah, true.
So this is them.
Yeah, the wild gentlemen. They were role models when I was a kid.
Well, you must have been a weird kid, which ain't surprising.
The White Wolf, eh? Explains a lot. You know, when I was back in Averia, Clawville and the whole let's live together in peace bullshit seemed like an unattainable dream.
Yeah, but look at it now. And what would have become of you if you hadn't ended up in Clawville? Maybe you'd even be happy?
Perhaps.
Ah, man, I can't imagine how you feel. The only good thing you ever had, huh?
Shut up, Marty.
Sure.
期地帯の思い出。
I didn't know you used to be a kindergarten teacher. But leather?
It's history, so back off.
I'm touched by the trust you have in me, Boss Bird.
There are things better left undisturbed, okay?
Yeah, got it. Who's that shaggy creature?
毛深い動物。
That's M.B. Davis, you bird brain.
Politician?
Am I gonna have to smash your beak?
Seriously, I don't know who the hell he is. It would be best to board it up. It'd go well with this rundown neighborhood.
It may be run down, but somehow I still feel like it's honest.
Sure, you could live in Cockroach Town. That's an honest place, too. Has a similar stink.
Believe me, Marty, I thought about it.
Why am I not surprised?
存在は一部の秘密は多大な代償がなければ守ることができず、その秘密が暴かれれば今度は自分自身が守られるという教訓の象徴であると考える動物は多い。一部では人間は虚無の神ムクバティの使いであると信じられており、翼を持った天使として描かれている。高級ファッションの一角だったが、今日また黒ビルにおいて本物の毛皮を目にするとはほとんどない。現時点ではまだ禁止はないが、たとえ購入できる財力に持っているとしても所有していること自体がケアの対象になりやすい。そうだよね、みんな動物だからダメだよね。長い歴史の精神領域、写真を見た限り小さな部屋が出てくる吸血コンビに住む白にそっくりだ。
When all of this is over, I'm gonna go on that long journey. Books I've never read, and most likely never will. I still have nightmares about the Great Fire.
Really? Were you alive then?
I was 3. And maybe it's not even a true memory, just the collective memory of the city. I see the flames. I see...
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you weren't born in Clawville. Aren't you from Averia?
Exactly, Marty. We were just visiting Clawville when the fire broke out.
I'm surprised you ever returned.
Well, maybe that's the reason I did return, Marty. It's like when someone falls in love with their captor, you know? Somehow I feel like this is my place. No matter how much suffering it brings, Clawville's fate is
heavy stuff. Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because he learned Natasha worked in a brothel.
No, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
Which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting, but maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who treated him.
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that?
どうすればいいんだ？
Hello. You've called the Let There Be Peace Forever mental institution for ill and damaged minds.
病
What
と
can I
傷
do
を
for
負っ
you,
た
sir?
精
Or
神
madam?
医療施設。どんだけ長い名前。
Well, I'd like to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is
アルバイトベー
Albert
スラー
Wessler.
という患者について伺いたい。
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives. Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case, officer, I'd advise you to visit our institution personally.
教えて。
Our director and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a beautiful, starlit night.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
See you soon.
So,
We have to go there.
精神病院に行く。
the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha. So, I get the couch?
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
ルイスの電話番号。
Molly, my ex-wife.
ルイスの電話番号。いくつだっけ。
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You owe me one. Again.
歌詞ができる。
Yeah. Sorry for the mess, Marty. I rarely have visitors.
Don't worry about it, Sonny. I didn't expect anything else.
Thanks.
Please say the floor inside is covered with conspiracy theory papers and notes written with your own blood.
More like dirty clothes and empty bottles, Marty. Sorry.
You're no fun, Sonny.
Well, you'll get old eventually, too.
Never.
どうするかな。お、いけるね。推進料。行こう。
I slept like I used to sleep years
おはようござい
ago.
ます。
Like a miner or a soldier. Empty. Dead tired.
シュナポンさんいらっしゃ
Then I
い。
saw Tessa. My darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real. Just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried. But all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing.
このゲーム
But
初め
her
て見ま
eyes
し
were
た。
cold.
あ、本当に。
Then she said something.
多分ね、あんまり YouTube で配
Painted
信してる
red.
人いないと
Painted
思う。
red. Painted red. That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
ホラー映画。
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
病院。
This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here, too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
推理系。
そうそうそ
Well,
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no, no, no. The poor devil.
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out.
We should go to reception first.
う。受付。
Let-
ミランダ。見てみ。
Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
天使のよう。
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Of all the great wild ones.
キリンだ。
Greetings, miss.
Is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you. The chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
すごい感動してんな。
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really, really, really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in
い
person.
や、わら、刀剣切れてる、わら。
そうそうそう、穴見切れちゃってる。
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep
Miranda.
breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
おはよう。
おはよう、アイリーさんいらっしゃい。セスオスケツァルコアトル石。
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho... what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet, other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like, Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
忙しい。
I thought so.
奇妙なリストバンドについて。
What can you say about this, miss? Have you, seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
やっぱりここの病院にいた人なんだな。
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
教えられない。
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the chicken police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert, Wessler.
あ、やっぱそうな
The
んだ。
patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
アルバート・タデウス・ウェスラーについて。
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
もういい
Thank you.
ってます。
We need to let them know we're here first.
そう、なんもないもんね。
おはようございます。王逆三角を復活しました。楽しい配信いつもありがとう。
おはようございます。わかんないし。危険気まわりない異常者。キリン。欠点があるとすれば俺たちの大ファンだという点だ。これが医者かな。緑錦蛇。冷淡で疎遠なプロフェッショナル。どこか気味が悪い。これさっきのやつ。これいつまで待てばいいんだろう。
It doesn't matter how big a star you once were. Ending up lonely and crazy in a rotting insane asylum in the middle of nowhere is like the universe restoring its balance.
That was very poetic of you, Marty. Almost deep. Careful you don't drown.
Cluck you.
いつまで待つの。
Why did you keep that wristband? This picture.
Well, it must have been made by one of the patients, so it's understandable.
It's the handiwork of our director. He's not only a scientist, but he's a great painter, too.
I see.
Well, it's lovely to have a hobby, right?
That's right, Marty.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
廊下を直進して最後のドアの部屋。
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
あいつどこにいる
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly.
来たヘビ
Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell. And birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
怖っ
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you,
座
gentlemen?
ってください
Your office is, rather Puritan.
貪欲的
Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. That makes sense. Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an
予
appointment.
約
こ
お願い
んにちは
します。
配信頑張ってください。
こんにちは、さかなクン、ありがと
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already
おは
here.
ようございます。
う。おはようございます。畠山さんいらっしゃい。
Marty, clock up.
よし、お話を聞こ
A snake. I can't help it, but
おはようご
they
ざい
make
ま
my
す。
feathers
う。白
stand
黒
on
さん、お
end.
はようございます。いらっしゃい。
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
予想していた。
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
蛇と鶏の方が聞こえがいい。
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know. It's about Albert Wessler. Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
尋ねる。アルバート・タデウス・ウエスラー。
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
なんで連れて来られたか。
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
提供。
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Cloville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
そういうの150年近く所有してきている。
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
マダム・ザイバスについて。
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
会ったことはない。
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
尋問か。
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
アルバートはいつ病院の患者になったのか。焦点。謎だらけ。でもそれを有利に働かせることはできる。パズルの中で一番変なピースに焦点を当てる。
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
第一印象。
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
世間から隠そうとしていた。
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
イブン・ウェスは何らかの方法で脅されたことありますか？アルバートはどんな特別待遇を受けたんですか？まあ普通こっちだよね。どんな特別待遇を受けたか。
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
アルバートに最初に会った時の印象は。
おはようございます。昨日はありがとうございました。ピース。
あ、チャスさんいらっしゃい。こちらこそありがとうございました。どれかな、脅威だと感じそうだ。アルバートの中にどう接しましたか。アルバートはあなたとどう接したか。
How did Albert relate to you?
Albert was immensely sophisticated and polite, so much so that his true emotions and thoughts could not be deciphered.
And that's why you thought of him as an exciting case.
That's right, Mr. Featherland. I see you're starting to get to know me in some way.
I'm just doing my job, Doctor.
You and me both.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
ことって言ったらなんで外出したか。どれかな。難しいな。アルバートが初めて施設から外出したのはいつだったかとその理由。いやでもな、混乱中ちょっと隠していることがあるか。
You're keeping some things from me, am I right?
I can only answer the questions you ask.
You just avoided giving an answer.
Such insight Not bad for a rooster.
Thank you. So?
Albert was working on a painting commissioned by his brother, Hobart Wessler.
依頼されて描いた。
Was it of a woman named Natasha by any chance?
Exactly.
つながったな。
Did Albert tell you how he felt about the painting?
From the first moment he loved it. He was fascinated by it. But who could blame him? A little diversity, fresh air, a beautiful lady, and of course, on top of all that, he could finally do what he loved best: paint.
Which could be a surprisingly effective therapy.
It could have been. Unfortunately, these excursions have greatly intensified his seizures. They have become more frequent and extreme.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous?
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly. And he was blinded in one eye. Or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
混乱している。アルバートが事故に遭ったとまさか信じていなかったでしょう。
You didn't believe Albert had an accident, is that right?
Of course not. I'm not naive. I knew immediately that Albert had been severely battered, and I was sure it had been his brother, Hobart.
Well, we don't know that, Dr. Quetzal.
Would you defend a monster?
Take it easy, Doc. One of the most critical elements of my job is not to make assumptions.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Featherland. I'm sorry I got carried away.
It's all right. Happens to everyone.
まあダメだったな。容体はどうだったか。
Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, Detective.
Sorry, Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
That didn't get me far.
ああ、ダメだったな。ゲージメーターが。それからどうなったんですか？アルバートはどのように姿を消したんですか？
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great...
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
最終的な考え、それでいい昔通りとはいかないが、まだ捨てたもんじゃない。この年老いた オスにもやれることありそうだ。重要な手がかり。アルバート・エスラーが姿を消したが、そいつに何があったのかなんとなくわかる気がする。
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional
特別な環境
circumstances.
で生きていた。
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Well, that's, surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
特権がついてくる。
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird. No way! Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
No way! Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
線を引く。これ三角形になるっていうぐらいじゃない？多分。違うのかな。 渡ったりして、いやこれ難しいと思うんだけど。違うな。何これ。ちょっと他のを見てからにしよう。
You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient mansion filled with madmen?
You're right.
As always. Look at that. A letter. Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. 2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
やっぱ三角関係の三角じゃないのかな。
Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems, perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss.
あとはないかな。あ、間違えた。
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that.
あれかな、ラブレターみたいな感じなのかな。Forgive me。英語だからわからんって。
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that. Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
Ugh, you're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
You're driving me crazy.
あら、あの絵がどうでもいいのか。
So, detectives, have you found what you were looking for?
I'm afraid we have, Doctor. And more.
I wouldn't dare to say I'm happy to hear it, but I'm glad to be of service to you.
Well, thanks, Doc.
I hope I don't offend you by saying I hope we're not going to meet anytime soon.
Not on account of either of our jobs, am I right?
Exactly.
帰ろう。しょうがない。あの絵は何だったんだろう。線を引くっていうの
Oh,
は
I don't
分かんないけ
believe
ど。
this. Those two again?
Take them out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
やだこれ。
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Shut up and shoot, you big feather pillow.
ああ、死んじゃった。
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Shut up and shoot, you big feather pillow. Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Whew.
OK。
Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste. And it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Well, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece.
パスのピースつなぎ合わせよう。
Let's start from the beginning. So, we
という
got
こ
a
とで
case.
今日はここまでにしたいと思います。続きは調査するここからやっていきたいと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。また来週にでも続きを配信したいと思います。それではご視聴ありがとうございました。それではまたね。